There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go, yeah, it's me with the inside out T.
Hey y'all, peace and blessings. It's your girl Stephanie and welcome to Sun Goddess Ascension. So today I created this video to tell you 5 things you need to know before relocating to Houston, Texas. I'm going to keep it short and concise, but before I start, let me give you a little backstory about myself. I am a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native. I've relocated to Houston, Texas, June 2023, and I've been here ever since, and I absolutely love it. Houston's been amazing to me so far, but here's some things that I feel like people should really research or consider before relocating to Houston, Texas. And to get straight into it, the first thing I'm going to talk about is having a car, transportation, and traffic. They all are one thing together. So before you relocate here, you want to make sure that you have a vehicle. This is one of the dire mistakes that I made when I came here. I had left my vehicle in Philadelphia thinking that it was like my city where you can just catch buses and there would be accessibility. That was definitely not the case. And on top of that, it is extremely too hot to be catching a bus in Texas if you don't have to. So please plan accordingly. Make sure that you have some wheels. And you also want to consider that traffic can 9 times out of 10 be gridlock, and there be extreme traffic all the time. And most of the people can't drive here. I don't even know if they have a license, to be honest. Like, it's just crazy how many accidents you'll see on the road. So you want to drive extra with precaution. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I first came here, I had motorcyclists just crashing out in front of me, on the side of me, cars just hitting because they speeding too much. It's more so a speeding thing and last minute cutoffs on the road. So yes, there are the things you want to consider as far as transportation. Number 2, I want to say the weather. You definitely want to take the weather into consideration. Houston, Texas has hurricane seasons from June to November, and that's basically when I came here. I came here in June, the start of the hurricane season. 2023 summer, it was kind of good. We didn't have a lot of hurricanes, but it was extremely hot that summer. Like, the index went up to 120. Like, it was crazy. And mind you, I just told you I didn't have a car the first 2 months when I came here, so I was really extremely hot and I really felt the heat. So number 3, I want to say, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm skipping around. Back to the weather. You want to really consider that because during the hurricane seasons, it get crazy. Like I said, that summer 23 was okay. It wasn't that bad. However, this summer, it started off, we had Hurricane Barley just passed us, and it was crazy. Like, we lost electricity. You really got to be prepared for stuff like that. You got to have a generator, have extra food stored, because like when you go to the stores, like a zombie apocalypse, there's no food, there's no water, there's no gas. So you got to really prepare for these things in advance to make sure that you and your family is ready, because like I was not prepared for this. Like, when I tell you I didn't even have gas, and I have gas stations all around me. They was all out of gas. And then part of it was a power outage thing too. So like everybody's flocking to the same areas, and I live in a remote area. There's no real buses around here. So it was really difficult, and that's another thing. But I'll get to that when I get to that. So number 3, I want to talk about the job market. Now, Houston, Texas is a really big city and state. However, and there's plethora of jobs if you really apply yourself and you're willing to work, even if it's not something that you're used to doing. However, I would say there's pros and cons to that because it's so competitive. The employers know that people is willing to work, and they can almost get anybody to work. There's a lot of immigrants here, so with that being said, it's very competitive that way. Even if you have like degrees and certifications behind your name and certificates and training, education, it can be really difficult. Myself, I've been in the healthcare field for the last 13 years, and the pay out here is very different from where I'm coming from. It's a lot less, and I wasn't used to this, but it's so competitive. We don't even need to pay you what you think you're worth, because we can get somebody else that's a newbie or anybody else that's been doing this and that's willing to work for it. So really do your research about the job. Try to even have a job secure. However, but you can find a job here easily. But it really is competitive. In my experience, I found jobs easily, but I also struggle just as much because I'm an educated person and I've been in the healthcare industry for 13 years. So a lot of people was telling me that I'm overqualified because of my credentials, and they didn't want to hire me, or they didn't believe that I would stay because of the pay they was trying to offer me, and they just didn't want to take the risk in that way, which I totally understand it, because even if you in a profession and you've been paid a certain amount of money and then you have to be subjected to something else, that's not something that somebody will be willing to adjust to just off the bat. So number 4, I want to talk about cost of living, and it kind of go with the job market. They go hand in hand because, like I said, it's very competitive. You can find a job, and you can find multiple jobs. However, the pay is really low here compared to other cities and states. So with that being said, the cost of living, you have to probably have more than one job here to meet the needs for cost of living and food and stuff of that nature, because it's pretty expensive. But with the pay of the job market, it makes it like you may have to work 1 or 2 jobs just to meet needs. And for myself personally, I work 1 full-time job at this time, and I run a business on the side to help supplement income and stuff of that nature. But you really have to have something, and if you don't have that hustle spirit or mentality, it's going to be hard for you to afford the cost of living 2024 2025 in Houston, Texas. And I'm going to go into number 5, my last and final thing you want to consider, which I really believe it ties into my last 2 things as well, and that's health insurance and benefits. Texas is not a really good place to try to get health insurance through the market, because they are really tight on who they really, I don't know what it is, they're really tight about who they give health insurance to, and the steps you do. Like, say if you try to get public benefits like Medicaid or something like that. When I first came here, I didn't have a job, so I did try to apply for Medicaid just to have some insurance and stuff like that. And they really gave me a hard time applying to this for benefits. To this day, I still don't have health insurance through them. Got it through my employer, but now that I'm working, I got it through my employer. But the whole time when I wasn't working, I never had health insurance, because even with me being unemployed, it was just so, the requirements is rigorous. They put you through a lot of things. They want you to put your children's other parent on child support. And for me, that was my barrier, because I didn't need to put them on child support, because we do have a verbal agreement and it works out. So I don't want to go through the court and do unnecessary stuff. So I'd rather just sacrifice my health insurance at that moment. I felt like it was better for me to do it. So I don't want to go in too much depth about my personal situation, but the health insurance, I hear a lot of people complain about, because it's hard to get the benefits. And even if you do get them benefits through the employer, there's not a lot of employers that pay 100%. Some do 70-30. Some people make you pay 100% of it, and your premium can be high. But for a person like me, like I'm a young adult, I don't go to hospital at all. Other than routine checkups, I don't go to the hospital. So health insurance for me is like, I just need it for dental maybe. But I'm not a person that go to the hospital. But as I get older, I may consider like I need health insurance. So yes, I definitely think that you should consider those 5 things before relocating to Houston, Texas, because this can make or break your experience, and to help you be really completely ready for what you're going to experience here. Because for me, it was like a culture shock when I came here. And I've traveled to other cities and states before, but I never, like I said, never been to Houston, Texas. And it was just so different to me in so many ways, like the way they, from the driving to the weather to the cost of living, job market, and health insurance and benefits here. They operate completely different. So there are some things I would say that you need to know and consider before relocating to Houston, Texas. I'm going to upload another video for my healthcare professionals that need to change professional licenses over to Houston, Texas. So please stay tuned for that. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Stephanie, and you have tuned into Sun Goddess Ascension.